Hi guys, I wanted to talk very quickly about making masks. This is really important stuff that's in the details of all the patterns, but I see people's stuff getting rejected, getting kicked back, getting returned for these very simple things that we should know about ahead of time if you read the details, not just the pattern, the details. Per the CDC website, you can look what they specifically say about masks and regulation, the studies about effectiveness, about the N95 masks versus the fabric masks, because there are studies. And you will notice, if you've been looking at this stuff, there are about 3 different kinds of masks. There is the big chunky face mask, which is meant to cover a N95 holder. You'll see that the pattern is cone shaped to go over another mask or respirator, okay? And they tell you about the seam allowances and all this stuff, and they specifically mention, where is it? Specifically mentioned that obviously you want to have a cotton blend of fabric. Now this is important because even the other style asks for a cotton blend of fabric, but as you know, if you've been dealing with fabrics at all, there are all sorts of different kinds of cotton blend fabric. This is a cotton fabric. This is a cotton fabric. If I had the choice of my tank top fabric or a duct canvas fabric to cover my mouth from germs, you bet I'm picking this one. Now, for those non-fabric people, let me tell you why. This is a very thick, very finely woven material. You can't see through it, can't see any light through it. Versus this one, which again is also 100% cotton. You can absolutely, peekaboo, you can see the light right through them, and you can see my shadow. That's very finely woven. That's not going to help you much, but there's a place for each. This is the kind of fabric you want. If you have, if you have cotton, like quilting cotton, that is a nice heavy, I mean, you can even hear that is a awesome, thick, durable fabric. That's what it's made for. It's canvas, right? It's made to be durable. It's made to be washed several times. It's another key point. No matter what fabric you use, wash it in hot water, dry it on hot heat, and do it twice. Why? Everything shrinks. Everything shrinks a little bit. This probably shrunk. I don't think I noticed. I mean, I literally just had like 2 or 3 spare pieces from a friend who was doing a bag. Like these are the only pieces that I have, but they probably shrunk a little bit. I did it twice because I wanted to make sure that when the professionals get them, they're not going to shrink again. And that is another reason why masks are being turned away. Okay, wash it in hot, dry it on hot. If it shrinks, that's okay. That's okay. Let it shrink at your home before you cut and sew and measure everything. Let it shrink beforehand. The other thing one of the websites said, use all cotton thread. Why? Because they are, again, washing everything, finished products and all, in hot water. They're sanitizing it. Polyester thread, polyester blends, any kind of blended thread has the possibility of melting, okay? Because some people are using their autoclaves, the big giant metal machines that, you know, heat things up to like 500 degrees, which would explain why the polyester or the plastic is melting. We don't want that. So if you have, unless specifically noted by the requester, okay, use all cotton thread. And again, this goes back to the post I did a few days ago that says it's awesome if you want to give, but like this is it. This is all of the heavy duty fabric that I have. So I can maybe make 3, maybe, this one's a small piece, I can maybe make 3 masks out of this, okay? That's it. That's all I got. I don't even have elastic. I'm going to have to do binding strips for ties, which the nurses are actually saying is better, because the other thing about the fit of the mask is, if it doesn't fit right, it has gaps where the germs, which we don't want, can get into the nasal passages, which again is what we're trying to avoid. So instead of being elastic, which could gap, right, especially around the eyes here, probably not so much at the bottom, you don't have to worry about that, but you really want to worry about how things are fitting by the eyes, because right here is the danger zone for nurses and anyone to catch something. So if you have ties, they can tie the top one tight, you know, clearly not like that. They can tie the top one tight, and then they can tie the bottom one tight, and it's going to fit much better. See, no gapping, no gapping. So everyone can have their own sized ability, even if they're trading masks. Again, read explicit directions, because some people just aren't taking any, and that's fine. But a lot of people are looking for the covers for the N95 masks. And this is from the University of Maryland Upper Chesapeake Health Cloth Face Mask. Okay, so that's where that one is from. This one is just your basic pleated one. And I think this is from the Owensboro Health one, the one that put out the big call. I don't know, is that Indiana? I can't remember. But again, this is meant to cover, okay? There's another pattern. There's a third pattern that is a deviation of this pattern. It is basically two of these. So basically you would have this and you would have this, and it'll be pleated, but they're going to put their own filter in between. So you leave an opening at the top for them to put the little filter in. It's not an N95 filter. And again, that way, you know, instead of just a napkin across your face, because essentially that's what these lighter fabrics are, which is why you got to be really careful. About what you're giving to people. That's why a lot of people are getting turned away. The masks and the awesome fabrics that you're using and the time that you're putting into it, I want that to be for good. I want that to be used. I want that to save lives. I want that to save people's health. Read your directions. Please read the specific directions of whatever care unit you're donating to, whether it's an elderly home, hospice care, hospital, urgent care center, wherever it is. Every one of them has specific regulations, okay? University of Maryland Health, completely different than Owensboro, okay? I think it depends on level of desperation as well. But again, I can only make a few. I'm only making a few from the fabric scraps that I have left, because I'm not going to give them a napkin over their face. They can do better than that, and I hope that the people that have nicer fabrics can do that. So please, 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 first things first, wash in hot water, dry in hot, steamy air even. Steam it, sanitize it. Our dryer has a sanitize option. Push the sanitize button. Push it, not to actually sanitize it, but to shrink it, because we want it to be shrunk before you cut out your patterns and sew everything together. The fit is the most important part about the safety of protecting our healthcare workers. That makes sense? That makes sense? Okay. Again, if you are able to, do not use plastic. Again, because of all the high heat, there are hospitals that will choose, just for convenience, to pop it into their enclave, because the sanitizing may only be like a 15, 25-minute interval for that, versus having to send it down to the laundry, people having to take it home. So it's easier for them to pop that into the enclave and be done. But if it melts, it's no good. So cotton, 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 cotton thread, the thicker the better, okay, unless someone specifically asks for something else, okay? You use common sense. The nurses, you deserve better than cloth napkins, you do. So I'm making what I can. It's not a lot, but you know what? That's what I got. So I'm going to do the best that I can, make some soft ties, because that's what this will be perfect for, is soft binding ties, and pass it on to those in need. So I know a lot of people have been asking, like, someone told me this, someone told me this. Read the specific directions for the pattern that you're using. Use common sense. If you have questions, ask directly to the people that issued the pattern, okay? Again, there are 3 basic types of pattern. The types that cover the N95 mask, the very basic fabric mask, the fabric with the filter masks, okay? Elastic versus ties. So we want to give them the best durable quality fabric that we can. This may save someone's life. This may save someone from an infection. and that's meaningful. So if you only have linen or muslin, masks are not a good donation option. It's not going to help. It's not going to help. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. So hopefully that answers a few questions. If you have seen some stuff around, if you have questions, please feel free to message me. Read the directions. Read the directions. Okay. Because this one even says, you know, polyester blend fabric, which means they're probably not going to use an enclave to sanitize it, but others will. Like these, the one specifically said only cotton, only cotton. So please, please, please read your directions. Stay safe and stay sane. Yeah. I love you guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.